In the world of relationships, have you ever wondered why we keep repeating the same patterns? Why do some people find themselves in toxic cycles, while others seem to thrive in love? There's a real intersection between modern psychological theories and ancient human behaviors that can shed light on our current dynamics. Picture this. You're at a bar, and across the room you see a couple arguing. It's loud, it's messy, and they're clearly stuck in a loop. But why? It's not just because they're bad at communicating. Their behaviors are echoes of millennia of evolution, shaped by survival instincts, societal structures, and psychological frameworks that we've only recently begun to understand. Let's start with a little context. Ancient humans lived in tight-knit communities where survival depended on cooperation. The bonds formed during those times were important. You had to rely on others for food, protection, and care. This is where the roots of our attachment styles took hold. Those deeply ingrained patterns of relating to one another that we carry into modern relationships. Fast forward to today, where our communities might be larger, but the important needs remain the same. We crave connection, but what happens when that connection is fraught with tension? Enter modern psychology. The theories developed in recent decades have given us tools to dissect these patterns. Take attachment theory, for instance. It suggests that the way we bond with our caregivers as infants shapes how we relate to others throughout our lives. Secure attachments lead to healthier relationships, while insecure attachments can lead to conflict and isolation. But here's the kicker. Our understanding of these theories is often limited by the societal structures we live in. For example, think about community support systems. In ancient times, you had extended families and tribes to help raise children and support relationships. Today, many people are isolated, raising kids in nuclear families, or even alone. This lack of communal support can exacerbate the issues stemming from insecure attachments. Consider a scenario where a child grows up without that network. They might develop anxious attachment styles, constantly seeking validation and fearing abandonment. As adults, these individuals may find themselves in relationships where they cling to partners who are distant or inconsistent, perpetuating cycles of anxiety and conflict. It's a vicious cycle, and it often goes unnoticed until it's too late. Now, let's dig deeper into the emotional and psychological aspects of trauma. Trauma doesn't just vanish. It lingers, shaping our behaviors and beliefs. A person who experienced neglect or abuse as a child may carry those wounds into adulthood, affecting how they view themselves and their worthiness of love. This is where modern psychology shines a light on ancient behaviors. Many psychological theories today emphasize the importance of understanding these traumas. They remind us that behaviors often rooted in fear or pain can manifest in ways that seem irrational to outsiders. A person who flinches at a raised voice might not just be sensitive. They could be reliving a traumatic experience. This understanding can compassion, both for oneself and for others. But let's not forget the role of societal norms in all this. In many cultures, certain behaviors are normalized, even if they're destructive. For instance, the idea that men don't cry can lead to emotional suppression, which in turn can cause resentment and relationship breakdowns. In contrast, societies that encourage emotional expression can healthier relationships. Now, imagine a couple navigating this. One partner grew up in a household where emotions were openly discussed, while the other was taught to bottle everything up. The clash isn't just a personality difference. It's an important divide rooted in their upbringing. Understanding this can help bridge the gap, but only if both partners are willing to engage in that conversation. There's also something to be said about the evolutionary psychology aspect. Our ancestors were hardwired to bond for survival. Behaviors that promote connection, like empathy, cooperation, and even jealousy, were important for maintaining social bonds. But in today's world, these instincts sometimes lead to complications. For instance, jealousy, a natural response, can morph into possessiveness, leading to unhealthy dynamics in relationships. Let's take a moment to reflect on a specific example. Imagine two friends, Sarah and Mike. They've known each other for years, but recently, Sarah started dating someone new. Mike feels a pang of jealousy, not because he wants to be with her romantically, but because he fears losing her as a friend. This instinctual response is ancient, yet it can create rifts. If Mike doesn't communicate this feeling, resentment can build, leading to a fracture in their friendship. So, what's the solution? How do we navigate these complex dynamics? First, we need to awareness. Understanding the roots of our behaviors can help us approach relationships with more empathy. Instead of reacting to a partner's anxiety or jealousy with frustration, we can ask ourselves, what might be driving this? Here's where community support systems come back into play. In cultures where communal parenting is the norm, children grow up with a broader support network. They learn from various role models, which can lead to healthier attachment styles. This kind of environment allows individuals to develop resilience and emotional intelligence, important tools for navigating adult relationships. But it's not just about the past. It's also about the present. What does modern parenting look like? Many parents today are more aware of the impact of their behaviors on their children. There's a growing emphasis on emotional intelligence, teaching kids to express their feelings and others' emotions. This shift could lead to a generation that approaches relationships differently, breaking the cycles of trauma and insecurity. Now, let's pivot to the role of therapy in this conversation. Modern psychological practices offer individuals tools to process their past and reshape their narrative. Therapists can guide clients through understanding their attachment styles and how these affect their relationships. This work often involves confronting uncomfortable truths, diving into past traumas, and learning healthier ways to connect with others. But here's the thing, therapy isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. Different cultures have different approaches to mental health and community support. Some might lean to collective healing practices, while others might emphasize individual therapy. It's important to recognize that what works for one person may not work for another. Speaking of which, let's touch on the importance of open dialogue in relationships. It's important for partners to discuss their backgrounds and what shaped them. This transparency fosters intimacy and understanding. Imagine a couple sitting down over coffee, sharing stories about their childhoods, the warmth of a family dinner, the sting of a harsh word. These conversations can build bridges, helping both partners navigate their emotional landscapes together. And here's a thought. What if we viewed challenges in relationships not just as problems to solve, but as opportunities for growth? When conflicts arise, they can serve as a mirror, reflecting deeper issues that need addressing. Instead of running from these tensions, what if we leaned into them? This brings us to the idea of resilience. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back from hardship. It's about adapting and growing through the experience. Individuals who can face their emotional struggles often emerge stronger, more empathetic, and more equipped to handle future challenges. Now, let's circle back to that couple we saw at the bar earlier. They might be caught in a cycle of conflict, but what if they took a step back? What if they sought help or even just talked openly about their feelings? The potential for healing is there, but it requires vulnerability, a willingness to confront the past and reshape the future. In the end, the intersection of modern psychological theories and our ancient behaviors provides a rich tapestry for understanding relationships. It's not just about individual journeys, it's about the communities we build, the support systems we create, and the conversations we have. So, as you navigate your own relationships, consider this. Every argument, every moment of jealousy, every feeling of neglect has roots that run deep. By understanding these connections, you can forge stronger bonds, break old patterns, and healthier dynamics. And who knows, maybe the next time you see a couple arguing at the bar, you'll recognize it for what it is, a reflection of the complex dance of human behavior, shaped by both ancient instincts and modern insights.